Hey guys, welcome back to part 9 of the Dagger tutorial. So in part 2 and 3, we briefly looked into the Dagger generated code to understand what is happening under the hood. But those were very simple scenarios, because our dependency graph was very simple back then. In the videos after that we didn't examine the generated code again, because I didn't want to make these videos too overwhelming. That's what we will do in this video instead. We will not learn any new concepts today, instead we will just look into our Dagger car component class, try to understand the generated code for the last few parts, and what effects it has when we make changes to our code. If you have been coding along until now, then you should not code along in this video, because here I will make some changes for presentational purposes that I will then revert after the video. Instead you can just lean back and listen to me talking. Also I want to say that you don't need to understand the generated code in order to use Dagger. Of course it makes sense to better understand what is actually happening, but it's also quite difficult, so if you get overwhelmed and don't understand anything of what I'm saying here, don't worry about it and just continue with the upcoming parts. Okay, so let's take a look into our Dagger car component. And by the way, these generated classes are located in this generatedJava package. When you open this, we can go into our package, and here we have our car and Dagger subpackages. But here are not our own classes, here are Dagger's generated classes. And this is a lot of generated code, because Dagger doesn't know in advance what we will actually use at runtime. So it basically creates the code for all possible scenarios, even if we don't need most of it. But the Android build system comes with a tool called ProGuard, which should then remove the unused code when we actually build an APK. So let's take a look into our Dagger car component. Here we have our inject call, which gets past the main activity. This is what we call in our main activity. But we already saw this method in part 3. This simply takes our main activity instance and a car instance and puts it into our injected member variable. We already saw this earlier, so instead let's go into our getCar method, because this is what gets us our injected car in the end. Here we can see it calls this injectCar method, to which it passes a car instance. This is similar to our inject main activity method, because what this does is getting our remote into our car. Because our car, if you remember, has this injected enable remote method, which Dagger then puts into this car instance, similarly how it puts the car into the main activity, where we have our inject annotated car member variable. And actually let's put a comment around this, and then rebuild our project. And when we go back into our Dagger car component, this getCar method now became much more simple, because now it returns a new car directly without calling the injectCar method, and a car needs an engine and wheels, so it passes getPetrolEngine and getWheels. Let's take a look into getPetrolEngine. This is pretty simple as well. Here it returns a new petrol engine, to which it passes horsepower and engine capacity, which are dependencies of our petrol engine. And if you remember, we got these two values into our component with the bindInstance annotation in the last video. So now they are stored in this component as member variables, and they are put into these member variables when we call build. So this down here is the builder, which we defined ourselves. Those are the two methods that we call when we pass these two values. And it basically simply checks that they are not null, and then puts them into the member variable. And then it uses these values to instantiate the petrol engine. This is pretty simple as well. Okay, let's take a look into getWheels next, which is here. This method looks a bit more complicated, because if you remember, here we got all the dependencies from these provides methods, instead of instantiating their constructors directly. So the Dagger car component has to call these methods to get the dependencies. And Dagger basically calls these provides methods here. It calls provide wheels and passes provide rims and provide tires. But this is named proxyProvide wheels and proxyProvide rims and tires. And when we look in here, we get into another class, and what it simply does is it calls our provide wheels method on our module, and it checks that the returned value is not null. So this is basically the purpose of these proxy methods, and it also makes sure that we can call them publicly, because our provides methods could be package private, in which case our component could not access them. So the purpose of these proxyProvide methods are the null check and the public modifier. So when we go back into our component, you could basically think this part after the underscore away, as well as the proxy, and what you have left is wheels module provide wheels, because this is what this basically does. It calls our module's provides method, and the same for rims and tires. And if you paid attention, you also saw that it calls these methods statically, which we can see from the capital W, instead of calling them on an instance. Because we made all these provides methods in our module static, let's see what happens when we make one of them non-static. But now we also have to remove the abstract keyword, because otherwise we will get a compile time error. Again, we rebuild the project. And in our components getReals method, it now looks a bit different, because instead of passing no argument to a proxyProvideRims, it now passes a Reals module. Reals module is another member variable of the component, and it simply instantiates it in the build process as a new Reals module. Because since this module doesn't have any dependencies itself, we don't have to pass it, instead Dagger can just instantiate it itself. And in this proxyProvideRims, it now uses this instance to call the provideRims method on it, because you need an instance to call a non-static method. So this whole Reals module instance is now completely useless. It just gets created to call this method. So remember, always make these methods static if you don't depend on any instance variable, because it's more efficient. And since our Petrol engine module uses the binds annotation instead of @provides, Dagger doesn't have to call any provides method to get the Petrol engine. Instead it can just instantiate it directly. Because we basically tell Dagger we want to use a Petrol engine whenever an engine is required. Whereas a provides method always has to be executed, because the annotation processor doesn't know what happens in the method body. It doesn't know that we just want to return the implementation for an interface. But binds methods are abstract, so Dagger knows that there is no method body, nothing to execute, instead it can just call the constructor directly. And in our generatedJava package, Dagger creates one of these _factory classes, or _provide factory, for every inject annotated constructor and for every provides method. So car, diesel engine and petrol engine have an addInject constructor, the same as our remote class, and our diesel engine module has a provides method for an engine and horsepower, and then the 3 provides methods of our Reals module. There is no factory created for our binds method, because Dagger doesn't have to call any code for it, and just directly calls the constructor instead. And these factory classes are basically the classes that know how to create their corresponding object. So the provideReals factory, which belongs to the provideReals method, knows how to create a Reals instance. This is the same class that we saw earlier, where we have our proxyProvideReals method in. And in earlier versions of Dagger, it basically created an instance of these factories for every object that we need. And they always had this provider suffix. So for the provideReals factory, we would have a Reals provider, which in turn needs a rims provider and a tires provider, because rims and tires are the dependency of Reals. And over the get method here, it returned the instance of Reals. So we always had these provider wrapper objects around the actual object that we need, which of course is not very efficient, because those are a lot of unnecessary instances. And for this reason, most of this has been optimized away. So in the constellation we have right now, up to our last video, most of the code in here isn't actually used. And we don't have any of these provider instances. Instead, Dagger always calls these provides method here statically, or calls the constructor of an object directly. But these provider instances are still used in other scenarios, which we will learn about in the upcoming parts. And sometime later we will take a look into the generated code again. That's all the interesting part for now. If this video was helpful, please leave a like, and don't forget to subscribe for upcoming parts of the Dagger tutorial. Take care.